And who was present?
When she first picked me up, it was only there.
Give me last names.
Graham.
So her sister was there.
Yes, ma'am.
And then?
We drove off, had a day and night. It was for her birthday. When we came back, that's when we noticed Miss Prenay Graham was there. When she came out out of rage, I walked out.
You mean Miss Benton?
Yes.
What time was that?
Maybe 10.
10 p.m.
Something like that.
Ma'am?
Was it 10 o'clock at night?
No, ma'am.
What time?
It was probably about 8:30.
Fine. So it was 8:30 in the evening.
Yes, ma'am.
And you don't live with your sister?
Me, him, and our kids was living with my sister.
You and your children were living with your sister?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you know that?
They was not living there.
How long had you been living with your sister?
We was living with he moved with my sister.
No. Listen to me carefully. How long on December 19th had you been living with your sister?
3 months.
Are you still living with your sister?
No.
When did you move out of your sister's house?
We moved out in February of this year.
In January of this year, did you live in your sister's house?
Yes, ma'am.
Was he there?
Yes, ma'am.
So you lived together?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were living with other relatives?
Yes, ma'am. I didn't move into my place until February.
That's all I'm asking you is, so they were living together under the same roof in the month of January?
Your Honor, I don't know where.
You don't know?
I don't know.
You don't know, and you can't believe him because, you know, when his mouth moves, he's not telling the truth because he has 4 children, three children that are all the same age with 2 different ladies.
Yeah. The ages of our kids were wrong, all the ages.
Do you have a child that's 2?
I have a child that's 3, 4, 9, and 11.
Okay, so, and she has twins that are 2.
Yes, ma'am.
All I want to know from you is, in the month of January of this year, were you living in your sister's house?
Yes, ma'am.
With him?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you sharing the same room?
Yes, ma'am.
And you knew that despite the fact that he was really living with somebody else, you said that was okay?
He's my husband, so I just let him. He needed a place to stay.
He may have needed a place to stay, but he didn't have to stay in your bedroom.
I loved him at the time.
He was living with somebody else.
He was living with both of us on and off. It was stupid, but...
Great. Long as you say it was stupid.
It was.
Now, when Miss Alexander, so far you're being honest with me, when Miss Alexander brought him home at 8:30 on the 19th to drop him off, I want you to tell me your version of what happened.
Okay.
And do you understand? No smiling.
Yes.
I want you to make sure that you tell me the truth because, you know, I don't have that much time left.
Yes, ma'am. She pulled up in the yard, like, really fast, playing loud music. We was all sitting in the house.
Okay, so she pulled up in her car at 8:30 at night and...
Playing her loud music. So she pulled up at 8:30. I went to the door, and she was, like, talking real loud. So I responded to her.
So what?
She was talking real loud.
She was talking loud,
yes, talking to her. I responded. I was responding to what she was saying. She backed up real quick, and I yelled something out to her, and she backed up and almost hit me.
She couldn't have almost hit you if you were at the front door.
No, because when she was backing up, I was walking out.
The question is, why were you walking out? Question is, you knew she was dropping off the guy.
No, I didn't know she was dropping him off. I didn't know why she was putting him in.
Just a second. You have to tell me things that I believe. If she pulled up into the house and she was backing up, she had already dropped him off because that was the purpose of her being there. Do you understand?
I understand what you're saying.
Okay. So you know who she is.
Yes.
And he was already out of the car.